Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be replacing the wheel on the Moza CS wheel with an aftermarket wheel. And I have to apologize because I've been away for a little bit. I haven't created any content for quite some time, maybe about a week or so, because I've just been having so much fun just sim racing, to be honest, just doing as many races as I possibly can. And I've just been enjoying playing so much that I just really haven't had time to create content, because just every night of the week I'm trying to get a couple of races in, because it has just been so much fun on iRacing, on EAWRC, even on AMS2, just jumping in and having a race with my friends, and really enjoying it. So yeah, I apologize for that, but we're back into it. And today we're going to be replacing this wheel. So this will just be a quick video. It won't be much of a tutorial, but it's a pretty simple thing to do. But I want to explain to you why change a wheel, and I'll show you an example. So what we have here is the Moza CS wheel. Now this is one of the first generation ones, the V1s, and the thing about this is it is a cheaper wheel. It's been so good to me. I really do love this wheel, and it's got a great button box and everything works quite well. It doesn't have backlit buttons, but I don't need all that fancy stuff. I just need a good wheel that works. And the thing about this wheel is probably its biggest downfall out of everything is that it's heavy. It is the heaviest wheel. This thing weighs like, I swear it weighs like 3 kilos or 4 kilos. Like, it's got a fair chunk of weight to it. And what I wanted to do was, apparently the weight of this thing is all in the wheel itself. So it's not in the hub, it's not in the QR, it's actually in the wheel. So I got on AliExpress. At this point in time, they had like some sort of sale on. It was like 70% off or something, which didn't work out to be 70%. But what I did was purchase this, which is another wheel, which looks exactly the same, without the button box on the back. And it's just a 70mm PCD with a horn button. There's a horn button there. Probably won't need that. And it does have this fancy little cover that goes over top of that holds the horn button on. But the thing about this wheel is, I can already tell that this is going to be a hell of a lot lighter than that one that's on the CS wheel. And it literally looks the same. It's a little bit thinner in the middle. It feels solid. There's no flex. It feels pretty strong. So what we're going to do is just replace this wheel with that wheel, and then we're going to go for a drive and see how it feels and see what the difference is, to be honest. Because I want, when I'm rallying or when I'm driving Miatas or something like that, I kind of want to see if I can get a bit more force feedback out of my R9. Because it is good and I really like it, and I'm not going to upgrade. But I feel I could just get that a little bit more if I change the wheel on this. And then what I'm going to do, probably in the next video, is with this wheel that comes off here, I am going to put that on its own QR. I also ordered another QR from AliExpress, a cheap one, and they're pretty cheap on there. I think I got mine for $40 something, and then I think the genuine Moza ones are like $100. So what I'm going to do is take the wheel off here, and then I'm going to bolt this to a QR and just use it as a straight up rally / drift wheel, and then that should make this one lighter as well. So I should have a light wheel and another light wheel. So that's the plan. Let's get into it. Let's pull this apart and switch it over and see how well it fits. Okay guys, so what we're going to do first is, the best thing to do is to try and make sure that you keep the QR and the button box together. Make sure they do not split from each other, because it honestly doesn't matter if it doesn't, but it'll be much easier to put back together if you keep these two together and you hold them together with something other than the bolts. So I'm copying a bit of a sim racing corner here by using some blue tack. Quite easy. Get 2 pieces of blue tack, pull them apart, and then just stick them together. One bit on the bottom, and maybe another bit on this side. You can see that just in there, just to hold that together. We want to try and keep the holes aligned, and there is also a cable in there that we need to just keep an eyeball on when we do pull it apart, so we don't have any issues there. So alright, we've got that all stuck together. Hopefully that works. And then we flip it over, and now we've got to get our Allen keys. And these are quite small Allen keys, so you got to be quite careful because they don't have a very big head on them, so you don't want to round any of these out. That would be horrendous. Not much fun. And they do have Loctite on them as well, so they will be quite tight. And what you should do is undo diagonally. It's like doing up a wheel. If you've ever done a wheel up on a car properly, you should always undo the wheel diagonally, and do the wheel up diagonally as well. Okay, nearly there. And we're going to reuse these bolts in the next wheel. So I might even weigh them both while I have them off. 1 second. Well, unfortunately, I couldn't find my scales, but to me, I can feel that there's definitely a few 100 grams difference for sure. And I think that will make a difference definitely when you're talking about a 9 Newton meter wheelbase. So we've got that apart. The good news is, hey, they've even got a Moza logo, which is awesome behind there. So that makes me think that they intentionally made this wheel for it to be replaced at some point in time. Because if I put that directly over the wrong way, make sure you have your grooves for your bolts facing out so they can align properly. And good news is, sports fans, she fits perfectly and it's flat. That is perfect fitment. Perfect fitment. Happy days. It actually aligns very, very, very well. That was what I was hoping for. So you got to love that. So now we put our bolts back in. Make sure you're always finger tight your bolts first. Because you don't want to just go straight to doing them up with the tool, because if you cross thread one, you will be in for a terrible time, and you may have to buy another QR, and we don't want that. Or you'll have to tap it out, and you don't want that, trust me. All right. Like that one's a bit tight. Might just get a feel for that one. If they go really tight, it could be the Loctite. Yep, that's okay. That's just the Loctite. It's going in there successfully. That one's okay. That one's okay. It's just the Loctite binding up a little bit on the bolts. So we'll wind these in quickly. You don't want to do them up tight yet. You just want to get them all wound in. This one's got a lot of Loctite on it. This one also looks a little bit more concave. It's got a little bit more of a dish on it than the Moza wheel. That's always good too. You won't say no to that. Alright. Beautiful. So I won't do it up tight yet. Just give me back my... But yeah, I just couldn't help it. I thought, well, you know what? I had a little bit of money set aside there, and I thought, what's a good upgrade I could do that would give me just a little bit more from my R9 and give me the option to use another wheel. Like, give me an option to jump in WRC and use a wheel that had no buttons, had no paddles, so I just have to use the sequential, and just sort of give me that simplicity, really. And yeah, this is what I come up with. Thought, well, why not keep the Moza wheel and use it, not just replace it, but just get a cheap QR for it, and then transfer this one over to here so I can still use this wheel, and then I got 3 wheels. That's a no-brainer to me. So now when you get close to the end, alright, looking nice and centered there. There's no problems with putting those in. So now we'll just tighten one of them up, give it a little bit of a tighten, and then we'll give this diagonal. We'll go diagonal again, give this one a little tighten. Just nip them up. Give this one a little tighten. Nice. Diagonally. Make sure that you have the Allen key in the hole fully. Before you try and do that. Nice. And then hit these last 2 up diagonally. And that just makes sure that it mounts flush and that it mounts square. Alright, so now what we want to do is just go around them once more, give them their last little... Jesus Christ, come out of there. Alright, here we go. That actually looks really good. I'm actually really quite happy with that. There you go. Looks like a brand new wheel. Looks like a brand new wheel. Cool. So, does it feel a bit lighter? Yes, it does. Is it a hell of a lot lighter? Not sure. It does feel like it's lost a good couple of 100 grams, I must say. But this one's a good wheel. It's awesome. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to bolt that to a QR and use that as a 3rd wheel. That's going to be fun just for some drifting or some rally. Yeah, happy with that. That's going to be cool. And it'll even be lighter because there's no box going to be on this one at all. No button box. So it's just going to be straight. And my QR is still coming. It's in the post. But yeah, this looks cool. Make sure you take the blue tack off the back. I'm going to jam it on the rig and go for a drive and see what it feels like.
20. Good luck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go left of the crest on 20. Slowly, slight left, 50. Left of the crest onto tarmac. Amplify right, long, tightens. And crest.
Okay guys, so after using the wheel for a certain amount of time now, it's probably been about a week or so, what I found is that yes, it has successfully given me more force feedback or more detail, I feel. The lighter wheel definitely makes the R9 feel stronger and feel more refined, I think is the word. And that's going to be awesome for MX5 racing, for pretty much any kind of round wheel racing, to be honest. It really does feel like the R9 now comes to life a bit more overhead for the wheel itself, for the wheelbase, which is great. A couple of things to take note though is definitely the fact that you need to wear gloves or use bare hands for this wheel. It's a bit slippery, and I found that I needed to use a certain type of gloves with this wheel. I had another pair of gloves which I used to use with the CS wheel, and they were too slippery. I couldn't hold on to the wheel. But I had another set which you see in the video here, and these are great. These are much better. So if you're going to buy this wheel, it's suede leather, quite slippery, so make sure you use the right type of gloves. I actually had to turn down the force from what I was using on the CS wheel because this was rattling my rig, and my rig's pretty solid. It's 80/20 and pretty solid, pretty well built, I like to think. And yeah, it was rattling my rig around a little bit. Anything that wasn't bolted down was moving. So yeah, just think about that. I feel that next time maybe getting the Alcantara wheel, the different type of material, probably could have been a better choice. I'm not a big fan of that material, but that would have got rid of the slipperiness of the wheel. So yeah, outside of that, you know, simple, easy mod, cheap, and now gives me the opportunity to have another wheel on top of that, which is fantastic, and it bolted on easily. There was no real issues. The one thing that I will mention is that the stitching on this wheel is nowhere near what the Moza wheel is, and it can be a little bit abrasive on the inside of your fingers if you're going to use this with bare hands. And I'm not sure over time if that will wear it out, wear out the stitching. So I was thinking about maybe placing some tape or something over the stitching just to stop that from happening, maybe just to wrap it around where my thumbs go the most. So a couple of things worth thinking about, but definitely worth it as a mod. I've been really happy with it so far, and I've been just driving round wheel cars on a consistent basis because I really am enjoying the feedback a little bit more than what I was with the CS. So I'm super excited to try the CS wheel with no button box and how much force that will bring, and get out on the drift track. And I'm not a drifter, but we'll give that a go because I'm pretty excited for that. So awesome mod, thumbs up, worth doing, cheap, and yeah, I hope you guys found value. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something out of that, and I will throw down some comments if you've tried other wheels on the CS wheel, or if there's other good wheels you'd recommend for the Moza QR. So thanks guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next one. Peace.